The Seven Plagues of England. 1. Collapse of England's power and empire. Siener van Rensburg saw England suffering the fall of its empire, symbolized by visions of the British lion lying down, its claws broken, unable to defend itself. The lion, once roaring across the globe, becomes a crippled and humiliated creature. In his vision, its crown falls to the dust, and its banner is torn by wind and fire. The grandeur of empire fades like smoke over the sea, and England's rule over other nations is revoked by divine decree. A great darkness descends over the British Isles, and their dominion ends in shame. The prophet saw the Union Jack lowered and burned. The voice in the vision declared, "The scepter is taken away, and you will rule no more." England, once proud and exalted, is brought low, reduced to a province of foreign masters. Fire and destruction in the cities. Van Rensburg foresaw great cities in England consumed by fire. He witnessed massive flames engulfing London, rising high into a darkened sky. The streets were deserted, the buildings ruined, and smoke blackened the heavens. Fire rained down, as if from the skies, and nothing could quench it. In another vision, he saw explosions in urban areas, like thunder cracking through stone, destroying markets, homes, and cathedrals. The fires were not only physical, but also symbolic of judgment and spiritual desolation. Holy places became ruins and sanctuaries were desecrated. The prophet saw churches burning, not only from bombs, but from the collapse of faith and reverence. England's spiritual fire had gone out long before the flames arrived. 3. Internal division and civil strife. Siener saw the English people turn against each other. Civil unrest gripped the land, with violent protests, riots, and blood in the streets. The vision showed people dressed in their own flags, clashing like enemy tribes. The people could not agree on leadership or direction. Political chaos paralyzed the land. He saw the British Parliament divided, its members shouting, while the foundations of the building cracked. England was ruled by confusion. The prophet was shown that hatred between classes, races, and ideologies would grow until brother would rise against brother. An invisible wall split the nation into factions. Foreign invasion and subjugation. One of Siener's most fearful visions was of foreign troops marching through English cities. He saw invaders wearing unfamiliar uniforms, moving through devastated neighborhoods while British soldiers had either fled or laid down their arms. The invaders were not resisted. There was no coordinated defense. The British people, disillusioned and weakened, submitted to occupation. He saw a great fleet approaching from the east, bringing both soldiers and plague. The British coast was undefended and enemy banners flew over parts of the country. The foreign presence remained for a time, and the prophet saw foreign laws and customs imposed on the people. Disease and pestilence. Van Rensburg saw England stricken with terrible disease. He described a gray mist descending over the cities, followed by death and fear. The hospitals were overflowing, and doctors were powerless. In one vision, he saw black wagons carrying bodies at night, while families wept in silence. The pestilence was a divine chastisement. It spread quickly, and many who boasted of science and progress were humbled. He saw that the sickness came in waves, each more severe than the last. People locked themselves in their homes, afraid to breathe the air. The streets were silent, broken only by the sound of tolling bells. Moral corruption and spiritual apostasy. Van Rensburg saw England losing its soul before losing its crown. In his visions, the nation embraced unnatural customs, false philosophies, and godless laws. The prophet saw the youth corrupted, taught to despise their own heritage and deny their creator. He saw men calling evil good and good evil. Churches were empty, their doors closed or transformed into theaters. The land that once sent missionaries to the world now rejected Christ. Siener saw a black veil over England's spiritual heart, and angels weeping for the lost. In his vision he heard, "This land has broken my covenant, and now reaps what it has sown." 7. Fall of the monarchy. The final plague Siener saw was the fall of the English monarchy. He saw a crown rolling in the mud, trampled underfoot. The royal family was scattered, some fleeing, some humiliated. The prophetic vision showed the throne room empty, the scepter broken in two. The people no longer honored the crown. In one striking vision, he saw a golden crown melting in the fire, symbolizing the end of royal authority and the judgment on centuries of power and pride. The monarchy, once a symbol of continuity and tradition, became a relic of a forgotten age.